Yo, what's going on, good people? Welcome back to another video. It's your boy LLB. Today I'm going to be giving you a full studio tour of everything that I've got in here, from equipment, hardware, lighting, camera equipment, just everything. So if you're a producer and you're wanting to make YouTube videos as well, or you're just a producer wanting to know what gear to get, then this should be a really helpful video for you. I've included everything. I've put all the links to all these products in the description. This is just going to be a comprehensive overview of everything that I've got in my studio. So yeah, man, let's just get into this one. But before we do, actually, I want to know what you guys have got in your studio. So drop a comment. Let me know what you guys have got in there, man. Let me know what equipment you've got, what MIDI keyboards you're working with, what interfaces you've got, headphones, all that stuff. It'll be helpful for me, and it'll be helpful for other producers if they're trying to build up their studios as well. But yeah, man, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys have got. So yeah, let's just get into the studio tour then, man. I'm going to kind of do this in order of what I think is probably the most essential when you're building up your own studio, and then I'll work my way back and just go through like some of the things like camera equipment and just not the actual studio-y stuff, but the stuff I use as well to make YouTube videos and whatnot. So yeah, man, let's kick off with the most essential thing, and that is obviously the laptop. The laptop's got to be probably the most important thing. Like, that's your engine. That's just what's going to carry you through when you're making beats, when you're having to do your graphic design, your editing, your video editing, making content. Like, all of that stuff is just going to be based from your laptop. So if I can give you any advice, then try not to scrimp too much. Fair enough if you're on a budget, but you're going to need a little bit of power just to like run those big VSTs without FL Studio just crashing on you all the time. So yeah, the laptop that I have got is the MSI G63 Fin 9SC model. It's got the i5 processor. I think there's about 270 gigs worth of storage, and then there's 170 gig extra memory. When I bought it, the RAM on it was 8 gig. It came with an empty slot, so I upgraded it to 16 gig. I've had it for about a year, just over a year, and it's dealt with everything perfectly for me. I can edit my videos, I can make beats and not have FL crash on me all the time, and it runs fairly smoothly. I would probably upgrade this at some point, you know, something with the i7, i9, just for that extra processing power. But for the average producer, man, this thing's solid. Like, it's really solid. So I got this thing for about $1,000. In the UK, it's about £800, something like that. But you could probably pick one up refurbished for a bit cheaper anyway, so you can save a bit of money there. Next thing I got, which is very, very important, is extra memory. I feel like my laptop gets filled up super quick, even though there's quite a bit of storage. Like, there's not that much, you know, especially when you're running like FL Studio and you've got all these big VSTs, big editors. I've got a lot of memory taken up by these videos. So yeah, you gotta get yourself some extra memory. And the memory I got was a 1TB SSD, and it's the Seagate Barracuda. Now, the reason I got an SSD over a hard drive is because although they're a bit cheaper and you get a lot more memory for the price, hard drives are a little bit more unreliable. Like, if you drop it, there's a risk like you could just lose everything. There's less moving parts in the SSD, and it's faster. Great for holding contact banks, great for just backing up all your files, and they're a lot smaller, so yeah, more portable. I picked up this SSD for about $215, so that translates to about £165. And yeah, really good investment, man. Need that extra space. Next thing is an interface. If you're wanting to record vocals, guitar, you need something to plug your monitors into. Interface is important, man. I got the Scarlett 2i2. I was gonna get the Solo, but if you want to record guitar and you've got your mic plugged in and everything, it's just easier to get the 2i2. You've got 2 ports right there, so you can just leave your mic plugged in, and then whenever you want to play guitar, you've always got that spare port right there to plug that in, so it's just more convenient than anything. I wouldn't recommend going for the Solo, even if you don't play guitar yet, because at some point you might get the itch to play something, or you'll want to plug a keyboard in, or just something else, and having those 2 ports, man, it's just way easier. So yeah, I picked that one up for $235, and in pounds that's about 180 pounds. And again, you can probably buy one refurbished for a bit cheaper than that as well if you're on a budget. But yeah, man, that's the interface. Next thing is the microphone. That's the thing I'm talking through right now, if you wanted reference for, you know, the sound quality. This mic is the Lewitt 440 Pure. I didn't actually pay for this. Lewitt was kind enough to send me this, and they sent me another one for the giveaway, the 50k giveaway. I'm really messed with this mic, man. It sounds way cleaner than my old USB mic. It plugs straight into my interface. There's no messing around with the USBs and, you know, messy cables, and it sounds clean, man. I don't know the technical terms on mics and all that kind of stuff, but if it sounds sick, then I'm gonna rock with it. So yeah, for this mic it's $290, and that translates to about £220. The mic didn't come with a cable, so you'll have to buy your own cable. It's an XLR to XLR cable, male to female, and you can pick one of those up for like $17, so you know, they're not too expensive. All right, next up is the headphones. Headphones are super important, man, so I'd recommend just investing a little bit into these, because you can't mix through laptop speakers very well. You can do it, I've seen producers do it, but if you just want to have a nice experience, a nice clean sound, a nice accurate sound as well, then you need to get yourself some good flat frequency headphones. The ones I'm using at the moment, again, these were actually sent out to me, and it's by a company called III. These are the TMA2 Wireless Plus headphones. These are cableless, but they've got 0 latency. They're crazy, man. I really like these things. The only inconvenience really is just that I've got to charge them, but you'd have to charge them that often. And yeah, these things sound crazy, man. Crazy clean. Because these are like the first of the 0 latency line, and you know, it's kind of like a new thing. They are quite pricey. You can get your own pair for about $400, or just under $400, and that's about £300 in in British money. But yeah, you're paying for what you get. You know, if you want some really good headphones, these are the way to go. But if you're on a budget and you want a clean sound, and I think it's probably about as clean as the ones that III sent me, then I'd definitely go for the Beyerdynamics DT770, the 32 ohm ones. Yeah, I've had these things for about 2 years now, and they actually have held up. Like, nothing's gone wrong with them. The cables are fine, the actual structure's sick on them. Really solid headphones. You'll see a lot of like podcasts using these, and a lot of producers actually use these as well. But yeah, really solid headphones, man. I got these for around $165, which is about £120. You can buy them refurbished, but honestly, I just get some new ones. Oh, and also, if you go for the Beyerdynamics, they come with a jack that looks like this. Can't see it. Yeah, it comes with a jack like that, so that'll only plug into your laptop. If you've got an interface, then you'll need to pick up an adapter, which is one of these. One of those. Okay, you just plug that on the end, and that goes into your interface, so you can use it on your interface. Just makes, you know, life a bit more convenient. But, and they're pretty cheap as well. You can pick one up for about £6, $8, something like that. So yeah, that's the headphones right there, man. All right, next up is monitors. Now, I don't think these are as essential as headphones, just because they're not as portable, and you know, you can mix and basically do everything with headphones. But if you want to catch a vibe, if you've got people around in a session, you know, you're gonna have those monitors blasting out some beats, man, while you're playing. You can't just be all sat having a silent disco with your headphones on. So yeah, monitors definitely important as well. The ones I've got were actually sent to me as well by the good people over at Adam Audio. These are the Adam Audio T8V monitor speakers. They're pretty hefty, like they're big speakers, and they're super powerful, got a really clean sound on them. And yeah, I don't know, man, I just really like the sound that comes from them. They sound a little bit different to the Yamahas, and yeah, I think they're cool, man. So for a pair of these, it'll cost you about $580. In British pounds, that's about 440. But again, you pay for what you get, man. These things sound super clean. Yeah, I don't think I'll be getting rid of these for a long time. But again, if you're on a budget, man, you can get the same quality of sound, just not as powerful, for less money. So you can get the Adam Audio T7, that's a 7-inch tweeters, and you can get the T5Vs as well with the smaller speakers. But we actually used those ones at the Airbnb when I met up with Chucky, Gami, Ocean, you know, just that big producer link up. We used a pair of those 5 inches there, and I thought they sounded sick. They were really powerful for the size. So yeah, we'll definitely recommend them if you can't get the big ones. So yeah, man, these speakers come with the power cables, but they don't come with the XLR cables, which you plug into your interface for them to, you know, make sound. So yeah, you'll have to get a couple of those. You'll want the XLR to jack cables, and you'll need 2 of them, one for each speaker, and that'll cost you about $40 for a good pair. I'd recommend getting a good pair of cables, you know, ones that are durable and that'll last. So yeah, I paid about $40 for a couple of cables, £30 in the UK money. But yeah, man, that's the cables, man. That's the cables and the monitors. All right, next thing is the MIDI keyboard, and I think these are pretty important. If you're trying to catch a vibe and you're kind of bored of just clicking in notes all the time, then a MIDI keyboard's kind of good for that, man. You can kind of get a sense of like how you want to play things. You can come up with different top melodies, different chord progressions and whatnot. So yeah, I definitely recommend getting a MIDI keyboard. Now, the one I've got was sent to me as well by Arteria, and I think they sent me one for the 50k giveaway as well. So yeah, big shout out to them for doing that. But yeah, I've got the Keylab Essentials MIDI keyboard, and I've got the 49 key one, so there's 49 keys on there. It's got some pads on there that I can use to program my drums in, and I can control analog labs through this thing, so it's actually pretty sick when I'm just cycling for sounds. It's got the pitch knob, the modulation knob, so I can play with the pitch, you know, as I'm recording stuff in. It looks sick. You got like a nice wooden effect on the outside. So yeah, if you want to get the 49 key version, the one that I've got, that'll cost about $250. In UK, that's about £190. Again, it's a little bit of money, but it's worth it, man. If you want to get some good equipment and you got to spend some money, you can get a smaller version of this, which is a bit cheaper. So if you're on a tighter budget, then maybe go for that one. Same build quality, just less keys. So yeah, man, that's the MIDI keyboard. Now, next thing is a USB hub. I think these are really important when it comes to cable management if you want a nice clean workspace, and a lot of laptops don't have enough ports for all the stuff that we need to throw into it, like your MIDI keyboard, if you've got a USB mic, your extra memory, SD card readers. You know, we've got a lot of stuff plugged into our laptop, so you're gonna need some extra ports just for convenience, really. So yeah, I picked up the Uni USB Type-C port. It's got 4 ports in there, so I've got plenty of ports to plug in my MIDI keyboard, my interface, my SSD, and I think I've got one spare as well, so yeah, banging. I picked that one up for $25, so it's about £15 in UK money. Really solid buy, makes your life way less stressful having to unplug stuff all the time. So yeah, definitely recommend getting one of those. So yeah, man, in terms of actual studio gear, equipment, hardware, that is basically it. So yeah, man, now I'm going to move on to the actual desk, chairs, all that kind of stuff. So the chair that I'm sitting on right now, I actually recently got this chair. But yeah, this is the Base TBL office gaming chair. I picked this thing up for $165, which is about £125. Very important reason as to why I bought this chair is because, I don't know if you guys can see, but the handles flip up. So if you're like me and you play guitar, then you can flip these things up, sit back, get in a nice comfortable position, and just play guitar in a nice position. I feel like with these handles in the way, it gets long, like the guitar's in the way, you have to twist your body. So yeah, that was the main reason why I got this specific chair. Now the desk was actually sent out to me by a company called FlexiSpot, and it's actually a standing desk, so this thing goes all the way up so I can just stand and make beats and, you know, just save my posture a little bit. You know, we all got that producer hunch at certain points. I wouldn't say you need a standing desk, but if you can afford to get one, then yeah, it's a cool addition to the studio, man. So yeah, this specific model is the standing desk 2-stage EZ1, and for the legs and the desktop it will cost $560, which is about £430. I wouldn't say you need a standing desk, so you can pick up other desks for a lot cheaper, you know, from like IKEA and whatnot. But yeah, that's the desk that I'm using at the moment, and yeah, it's serving me really well so far. Really sturdy, really solid legs. All right, next thing is the sound panels. These things behind me, I've only just put these things up, but they've made a big difference to the sound in the room. Yeah, definitely a good buy, man. I got these ones from Studio Spare's website, and those specific ones are the Studio ATK acoustic panels. You can get them in different colors. I got them in beige, you can get them in black, red, blue. But yeah, they come in the big rectangle ones, and then there's some like thin rectangle ones. You can actually see them behind me. One there, the big ones in the middle. But yeah, to get a set of 8, it'll cost you $235, which is about £180. But yeah, really good investment for making beats, man, especially if you're recording in live instruments and you just want that really nice dry sound in your room, and then you can go in and add extra effects, you know, in your DAW. So yeah, solid investment. Now the last thing I've got in terms of like stands and just studio gear is this Z frame, which I recently got as well, and that's to hold the MIDI keyboard. When I put this keyboard on the desk, it kind of got in the way of the laptop, and I was kind of like having to reach over all the time to make little chops and changes. So it's really nice just to have this extra stand on the side. Now this is called a Z frame stand. Again, I got this one from Studio Spare's website again, and I think I got it for about £50, which is about $70, $75. There are cheaper alternatives like X frames, but they're not as sturdy, and when I've played on one in a pirate studio and it just kind of wobbles about, so I just thought I'd spend a bit more money and get a real solid one. So yeah, Z frame, not essential, but a really good investment. But yeah, man, that's it in terms of like studio desk stuff, you know, things that hold stuff. Next up is the instruments. So let's get into the guitars first. So the acoustic guitar that I've got, the classical one, is the Yamaha C40-2. It's got like the Roman numerals 2 at the end. I actually picked that one up second hand off of eBay. I think I got it for £80, which would be around $100. I got lucky, the guy had just restrung it and he didn't use it a lot, so I managed to get a bargain on it. But you can pick one up for about $170 brand new, about £130 in UK money. For guitars, that's cheap. Any guitar player will tell you, to get a really nice sounding guitar, you have to spend a lot of money, like upwards of around £1,000 on a guitar. But that one is super cheap, and you get a really nice like Spanishy kind of sound out of it. So yeah, that's the classical guitar. Now the electric guitar is the Harley Benton HB35 vintage series. I kind of like this guitar. I think it sounds a little bit kind of cloudy. I do have to add quite a few effects to it to like make it sound nice, but it's a really solid guitar, man, and for the price, like, you can't really argue with it. So yeah, I picked this guitar up for $218, which is about £160, £170, and yeah, really good guitar for the price. Real solid build, and you know, with a bit of mixing, a bit of processing on it, it does sound quite nice. So yeah, solid guitar, man. And the third guitar I actually got for free. This is my mum's partner's guitar. When I told him I wanted to get into it, he said he had one in the loft, so he just brought it down and let me use it. I don't actually know the price, and I don't even think they make them anymore. The company was called Antonia, and yeah, I literally couldn't find them anywhere, so they're priceless now, I guess. But anyway, that's all of the guitars. Now the only other instrument I've actually got is a bongo, and I recently got that. You guys might have seen the bongo video. They're the Rock Jam bongos. I got them off Amazon. I got them pretty cheap actually. These were $26, which is about £20 in UK money. And for what I use them for, you know, just to add those little perk loops to my melodies and my beats, they do the job, man. So yeah, man, that's all the instruments. So yeah, man, let's move on to lighting. Now this will be good for you guys if you're making videos like me and you just want to know, like, you know, how to get this look, you know, how the lights are set up and everything. So the first thing for the lighting is the actual thing that's holding the light, the stand. Now this is a C stand. It's the newer heavy duty C stand. I got this for $215 off of Amazon, which is about £160, £165. If you want to get a really solid light stand, then just get the C stands, man. The C stands basically means like you've got like a better center of gravity at the bottom. You got like one long leg, and then you attach the light to that top beam, which you can kind of like have more over the top of you. It's way more stronger than a standard light, a little bit more expensive, but honestly it's worth it. Now the actual light that I use is the Godox SLW60. No, that's the wrong way around. SL60W. Really nice, powerful light, and you know, you guys can see what I look like. You know, it's nice and powerful. It looks nice and bright, nice and clean. So yeah, this light in particular I got for $170, which is about £130. Really powerful light, man. Super bright. But yeah, really solid investment, man. If you're wanting to make videos like this, you know, to have a really nice bright image, then get yourself a good light, man. Now the next thing, and this is really important, and this is how like the light looks cool on me, is the softbox that I use. Okay, you can get a really powerful light, but if it's just beaming in your face, then it's not going to look good. So yeah, I got that softbox off of Amazon as well. It's the newer hexadecagon. Yeah, I guess that's the shape of it. But yeah, it's the 35-inch one. It looks like a massive umbrella. It's got this cool diffusion sheet on the front, which makes the light like really nice and soft. But yeah, I picked that one up for $100 off of Amazon, so about £70 in UK money. Again, really solid investment. As soon as I set this thing up, man, it was just like night and day in terms of the difference in quality. But yeah, man, that's the lighting. So let me move on to the camera gear. Let me just show you guys what I use to film all my stuff. So the first thing is the actual camera itself. It is the Canon 90D. Best investment I've ever made. The reason why I got this is because I made a big mistake when I went down to London to see Ocean for the first time. So I brought my old camera with me. I was filming, got into the studio, did a little bit of filming, and then the camera just died. The battery was terrible on it. The picture quality wasn't very good. And yeah, it was just annoying, man. I didn't get a lot of footage. You know, I had to kind of ask Ocean's camera guy to send me some footage, so it was a bit long. So yeah, I got back and I was like, I need to buy a new camera, which is why I got this one, man. So this is the Canon 90D, as I said. Sick camera. I shoot in 1080p, but it shoots in 4K. It was kind of pricey. I got this one for $1,300, which is about £1,000. And this is actually a refurbished one as well. So, you know, even though it's quite pricey, it is a bit less money than what I would have had to spend on the brand new one. But you know the deal, man. If you want it to look good, you have to spend a bit of money. You have to, man. There's no way around it. So yeah, that's the camera. The actual lens that I'm shooting on is the Sigma 18 to 35mm 1.8. Hands down my favorite lens. It's got a real cool aperture, 1.8. Makes everything nice and blurry in the background. So yeah, I got this lens secondhand as well. I got it for $660, which is about £500 UK pounds. Again, it's quite a bit of money, but if you're willing to invest, then definitely invest. Don't try and do this cheap. I made the mistake of trying to buy cheap camera equipment, and I don't use any of it anymore. If you buy cheap, you buy twice, man. So yeah, that's the lens. Now for the sound quality, you want to get a decent mic, especially if you're going out to studios. If you wanted to record stuff on the move, then yeah, get yourself a good shotgun mic. The one I'm using is the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus. This one cost me $282, so about £210 UK pounds. Again, one of the best investments I made in terms of, you know, upping the quality of these YouTube videos. Whenever I go out to a studio session, I use this mic, and I think the sound quality is crazy. It's got like a chargeable battery on it, so you'd have to keep swapping out batteries all the time. You just bang on charge, good to go, and it lasts literally ages. So yeah, that's the whole camera. Now you'll have to get yourself an SD card, which you can pick up for about $10-20. The one that I've got is the SanDisk Ultra SD card. It's 64 gig. I've only ever filled it once, and that was because I've shot 2 videos on it. I forgot to transfer the files, so yeah, more than enough space for me. But yeah, that's the SD card. If your laptop doesn't have an SD card reader, then you gotta get yourself one of those as well, and that'll cost you about $20 as well. Not too expensive. I got my SD card reader a long time ago in Cyprus, so I don't know the specific brand, but you can pick one up on Amazon for about $13, £10, you know, it's not that expensive. The tripod that the camera sat on, again, I got this thing when I was living in Cyprus, but you can get the exact same one off of Amazon. This one is the Valbon EX330Q. It's literally never broke on me. It's done everything I needed to. It's just a basic standard tripod. I got this one for $55, so about £40. It's not very fancy, but it works just fine, man. But yeah, that's the whole studio, man. That's all the lighting, the instruments, the studio gear, all that kind of stuff. But that whole setup is going to run you about $7,500. Man, producer life is expensive. But to be fair, I've been building the studio for like 5-6 years, so I didn't spend all this money in one hit. It was gradual over time, so when you break it down by year, it's not actually that much. But yeah, man, as you can tell, you have to invest in your craft if you really want to get the best out of your own sound. It's always an ongoing process. I'm always upgrading stuff, or like having to, you know, swap stuff out. Some stuff will break occasionally, but it is what it is, man. So I hope this was helpful. So yeah, I've put all the links to as many of those products as I can in the description, to those specific ones. They're not affiliate links, like I won't get paid anything for you using those links, but I thought it'd be more convenient for you to have them in the description. But yeah, that's the studio itself, man. Lots of stuff, lots of bits and bobs. But yeah, all of this adds up, and I've got a studio that I'm really happy with. But yeah, if this was helpful for any of you guys, make sure you subscribe, man. Don't leave me hanging. Hit the bell as well so you guys can see when I upload other stuff. And yeah, have a great day. I'll see you guys in the next one.